Achha. Today what we'll do is start our module 3. We understood about how power electronics is distributed into so many circuits and how power conversions have been done. So today we'll start directly into module 3, DC to DC converters. So according to its name, we have understood that it will convert DC to DC by stepping up down its voltages according to our needs. We had already discussed many circuits like rectifiers, inverters. Like this, another circuit is DC to DC converters or choppers. Okay. This DC to DC conversion can be done by two methods. My next page will show you that. So first one is your AC link chopper. Okay, it can be classified as AC link chopper. That means my supply to the inverter, we have a DC over here. That inverter is converting to AC. That AC is converted again to DC. The input DC and output DC is linked through AC. Okay, means first DC is converted to AC and then AC has been converted to DC. This is how one conversion can be done about by using in between inverter and rectifier. Or we can simply think about a circuit. The second one, the DC to DC converters, which we'll study now, is this basic DC source EDC. We have a switch, which is a power electronic switch, maybe diode, thyristor, IGBT, MOSFET, and then a load is connected. Now, if I connect this switch, okay, if I connect this switch and draw the output voltage, over here it is E0, so we'll draw the output voltage. As soon as the switch gets connected, E0 will be equal to EDC, and EDC is a DC voltage. So E0 is equal to EDC, a DC voltage. Next, as soon as the switch is off, my load will be disconnected from the source. For that time period when switch is off, we'll get E0 equal to 0. Again switch on, we'll get a voltage like this. So again at the output E0, we are getting a DC voltage because it is not positive. Once it is means it is only following positive, average value will be positive. If it is AC, it will have one positive value, one negative value. So at the output we are having a DC value only, but its magnitude is different from this EDC. Obviously you can see if you take the average value of this, it will be less than the supply voltage only. Next thing what I want to tell you is that very important thing. You should understand this one very easily. See, we have a DC voltage like this we are having. So during this time my switch is on, so I'll give T on. And during this time my switch is off, so I'll get T off. Okay, and the total is this much. So the total is this much, that is my time period. So time period T can be written as T on by T off. T on plus T off. T is equal to T on plus T off. Then another term comes over here, duty cycle. You will see in many books they have written duty cycle.
এখানে চপারের বদল স্যার এখানে চপারের ইয়েতে ক্লকও তো দেওয়া যায়।
ক্লক দেওয়া যায়, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। We are using power, যেহেতু power electronics circuit করছি ওর জন্য we are going for power electronics. You can use a stable, monostable, multi vibrator, যেটা 555 timer পড়েছো সেটা দিয়েও তো করা যায়। Yes, কিন্তু ওগুলো তো হাই পাওয়ার নিতে পারবে না। পাওয়ার ইলেকট্রনিক্স ডিলিং উইথ হাই পাওয়ার only. Okay, that's the main advantage. আচ্ছা, next thing we'll study about the duty cycle. Duty cycle is T on by T. T on by T. এইটা মনে রাখবে। T on by T on plus T off or T on by T. Everybody should remember this formula because we'll be using this formula in the future also. That duty cycle D is equal to T on by T. So from here you can write T on is equal to dt, right? From here you can write T on is equal to dt, and T off also from the formula you can write that T off can be written as 1 minus d into T. You can derive it very easy. T on plus T off is equal to T, and T on is equal to dt. Substitute over here and get T off is equal to 1 minus dt. So two formulas you should remember. T off is equal to 1 minus d into t. T on is equal to d into t. And t is your time period. So if you want to calculate frequency, 1 by time period gives you frequency. So d can be written as ft on also. D is equal to ft on also. Now, how do we classify a chopper? So simply DC to DC converter, it can be step up, step down. First classification we should understand in terms of stepping or up or down the voltage. So one classification can be made in terms of step up, step down. Second classification can be done in terms of your classes or directions of output voltage and current. Or I will tell, rather you can think like this: quadrant of operation. This is one quadrant of operation. This is another quadrant. So if I draw 4 quadrants, this will be first, this will be second, this will be third, this will be fourth. Now why we are studying this? Just one line I want to tell you. See, in this quadrant, voltage and current are positive. And I told you what is the application of a chopper. First, we are controlling the DC motor speed. And if you use a rectifier, my average voltage will always be less. So we can't increase the speed. So in order to increase the speed, I need to increase my voltage, because N directly proportional to V. So in order to increase that rectifier voltage, I have to give it to a chopper. So that will step up the voltage. Okay. So your chopper is also used as a voltage controller before feeding it to the DC motor. So since the DC motor acts as output to the chopper, and DC motor has 4 quadrant operation. One is motoring. Okay, motoring means, you should understand just for now, motoring means you are taking a DC motor and it is behaving as a motor only. That is, my current is entering the armature. If it acts as a generator, that means current will go in the opposite direction. Okay, so that is all the things we are doing. Positive current, negative current. Positive voltage, this side is negative voltage. What will happen if my armature voltage becomes negative? The direction of rotation will change. Okay, you change the first year experiment, you change the terminals of the armature. So my direction of rotation changes. Current change, direction of current change means from the armature, previously my current was entering the armature. That means it is behaving as a motor. If the current comes out of the armature, it is behaving as a generator. So that's how all the classifications are made. So class A chopper, we'll study all this later. You should just go through the classification very fast. We'll go. Class A chopper is the first quadrant chopper. So it operates positive voltage, positive current. So it is operating as a motor only. Class B chopper is the second quadrant chopper. Positive voltage, negative current. Class C chopper, 2 quadrant chopper. It can be operated as first quadrant also. It can be operated as second quadrant. Class D chopper, first and fourth quadrant. And class E chopper, all the 4 quadrants it can be operated. This is how the classifications, how we are doing in case of choppers. Okay. We'll study all these classifications also in detail with the circuits later. Just now we are taking how many types of choppers and how are it classified. That's I have told you. Now directly jumping into the topic. Very important topic. This is important for your semesters and GATE also. Many question comes from here. Non-isolated DC to DC converter. You should understand from the name. Non-isolated. Why non-isolated? See, my source Vs over here, my load over here are directly connected to the same ground. So it is called non-isolated. If there is any problem with the source and by chance it gets short circuited, this load will draw a very huge current because they are connected to the same ground. They will be short circuited within itself and this load may get damaged. So that's why we can go for isolated DC to DC converter. That is beyond the scope of study for now. But this is a non-isolated DC to DC converter because my source load is connected to the same ground. And if any problem happens to the source,
hello, এইটা তাহলে এখন ইউজ হয় না?
হ্যাঁ, ইউজ হয়, কিছু কিছু অ্যাপ্লিকেশনের জন্য ইউজ হয়। Generally SMPS we are using, whatever SMPS we are using, those are those are isolated DC to DC converter. If suppose your SMPS is used as a non-isolated one, or SMPS short হয়ে গেল, then full motherboard, everything will be short circuited. at the same time. Okay, so in SMPS, in order to provide extra protection to the circuit, suppose I need extra protection to my circuit, I'll go for non-isolated cases. I am saying that I don't need extra protection. I can connect directly to my my source to the load, and if I see my current I naught is some very few amperes or very milliamperes, then I can use this. Then we can go for this. This is the first circuit of non-isolated DC to DC converter. I will take this only first circuit today, buck converter circuit today. Tomorrow we'll discuss boost and buck boost converter. Eita bujle, this one if you understand, next two things will be like very easy for you, very easy. So as it is a DC to DC converter, my source will be DC. See, I have a VS which is DC, and at my load V0 will be DC also. Now I have assumed some direction of current, like in the first class somebody was telling, is the current through the circuit assumed? Yes, it should be assumed, because it is DC current. I0 has always to flow in this direction. If I0 flows in the opposite direction, current will be negative. So you will get AC current. Once it will be positive, once it will be negative. So always a standard current direction should be taken. So if you take the positive terminal VS, this one, IS should come outside only, means the source current. Then IL inductor current, I have taken this direction as positive. I0 should go in this direction, then only I0 is positive. IC should go in this direction, then only IC is positive. Any other direction will give negative. If I0 is flowing in this direction, upper terminal will be plus, lower terminal will be negative for V0. You can understand this. There is a drop across the resistance, so always wherever the current enters, it will be plus. That goes for inductor and capacitor also. Now this inductor, I have given an arrow like this, right? I have given an arrow like this. What does it mean? It means rise in potential. This arrow in any circuit means rise in potential. That means this is minus, this is plus. If the inductor polarity is like this, that means my inductor voltage is positive. Any question? Somebody? Okay. See, my IL is entering in this direction, right? So there will be drop across the inductor again. So this side has to be positive, this side has to be negative. So that is why this convention is taken. Next thing, we have taken another single pole double throw switch, as according to transient analysis class we had discussed. Single pole, one fixed point P, double throws T2 and T1, two throws T1 and T2. So single pole double throw switch, again application over here. Okay. Now we'll go in the next page. We'll we'll zoom it for you. Now what we have to do is analyze this circuit. Yes, circuit you have to understand, analyzation, understand this graphs, how this is coming. And later we have to derive many important formulas. All these formulas which are given in red boxes are very important while solving problems, as well as you require for your GATE also or competitive exams. All things are given over here only in these pages. You can directly make a note from here only. Just understand how it is operating. You should understand. Now if I what is a buck converter? First of all, buck means step down, means it is stepping down the voltage. If VS is 12 volt, output will be less than 12, maybe 5, 6, 10, whatever it is, but it is less than 12. Now I'm taking a single pole double throw switch. P once will be connected to T1, P once will be connected to T2. Now I have two periods we had studied previously. I have told you in the slide, there is T on, T off. Now I am taking T on. In the T on period, P will be connected to T1, P will be connected to T1, and during the T off period, P will be connected to T2, P will be connected to T2. So first point what I have written, P is connected to T1 during DTS or DT, whichever you want to write, and during the T off period, P is connected to T2. Now P is connected to T1. Just connecting. So current starts flowing from this VS positive, goes in this direction. Follow the pencil how I am drawing, to this T1 to P, then through the inductor, then goes through the capacitor, then goes through the resistor. Another thing you should remember, very important thing, transient analysis, or supply is DC. That's why I've taken the first class on transient analysis. That we are all studying over here steady state. Don't ask me what will be the transient condition. We are all studying all waveforms drawn over here as steady state waveforms. Okay, transient is only just for starting. After that, this waveform will be appearing across the load or inductor current. For the first few microseconds, there will be transient. After that, steady state operation will occur. So my study is steady state operation, no studying in transient case. So when P is connected to T1, now this P point and T1 is shorted. I am studying my DTS period. I'll study my D1 minus DTS period later. P is connected to T1, first point. So if P is connected to T1, P and T1 point are shorted. Okay, and this T1 is connected to the positive of Vs. Can I say VT1 is equal to Vs? Correct, because T1 is connected to the positive of this, so VT1 is equal to Vs. And since P and T1 is shorted with one another, can I say Vp is equal to VT1 is equal to Vs? So Vp is equal to VT1 is equal to Vs becomes my second point. Understood everyone this point? So that's why I have drawn over here during DTS period Vp is equal to Vs. And since Vs is a DC supply, straight line Vs. Next point, we are applying KVL. Third point we are discussing, we are applying KVL in the circuit when my P is connected to T1. Now we are studying steady state equations. All right. So I am assuming steady state condition of the capacitor, or if you can't understand steady state operation, if you can't recall it, think this capacitor and resistor are in parallel. You know, in parallel voltages are equal. So whatever Vc will be, V0 will be equal. Think it like that. You can understand it simply. Okay, so if I apply my KVL from Vs up to your load resistor and back to minus Vs, I will start from plus Vs, go in this direction. Since inductor current is flowing in this direction only, so this point will be positive, this point will be negative. So minus VL minus V0, current I0 is flowing in this direction, so I always take the end polarity. Minus V0 is equal to 0. So Vs minus VL minus V0 is equal to 0. So Vs minus VL minus V0 is equal to 0. From here you can write down VL is equal to Vs minus V0. Now Vs is a DC voltage constant. V0 is also a DC voltage constant. Okay. So VL will also be a constant voltage of magnitude Vs minus V0. So I have shown VL as a constant voltage of magnitude Vs minus V0. Next, fourth point. From this VL, I can also derive the equation of your current. From this VL, I can also derive the equation of your current. You know, voltage across the inductor is given by L dIL by dt. So from here you can write IL is equal to L brought this side VL by L integration of dt. So VL by L into T. Now you have calculated VL, Vs minus V0. Substitute it over here. Instead of VL, what I have written, Vs minus V0 by L into T. Okay. Now you see IL is this into T. Now all these axes over here are time axis. This is T on, this is T off, total is time period, this is time axis. So can I say IL is a straight line equation, y equal to mx? This line, this axis is y axis, so IL is y. This is my x axis, this is my slope m. Now Vs minus V0 is positive, so I'll get a positive slope over here. So IL is having a positive slope of Vs minus V0 by L. So I have drawn a positive slope of Vs minus V0 by L. Okay. Now one thing you should remember. Okay, I have studied the inductor current like this. So it's starting from 0, ending at 0. Okay. And now this type of current is called as discontinuous current. Means when the inductor is allowed to completely discharge. What we are discussing over here is continuous current. Means inductor is charging from 3 ampere to 5 ampere. back to 3 ampere, back to 5, then 3. So we are studying continuous values. Okay, so we are drawing this part, not discontinuous current. So inductor current, and we are obtaining steady state equation. At steady state, my inductor current will look like this. So it will charge from some point to another point, then discharge to that point only, not to 0. So we'll do this continuous waveforms.
এখানে কি ইন্ডাক্টরটা আগে থেকে এক্সাইটেড ছিল?
না, আমি স্টেডি স্টেট পড়ছি বলে ওই জায়গাটা পড়ছি। তোমাকে যখন সিমুলেশন দেখাবো আমি ভালো করে বুঝিয়ে দেবো, ঠিক আছে? When I'll show simulation, I will show you. Because our region of study is mainly steady state, I can show every region in this waveform. In simulation, I'll show you. Okay. This is what this is. So we are getting a slope over here, Vs minus V naught by L. That is increasing in nature. Next, I'll come to IC later. I have drawn IL. I'll come to IC later. I can do it now also, no problem. First, let me. I have to find out the average value of this. Okay, I'll come to it later. I'll draw this one, IT1P. I'll come to IC later. IT1P. IT1P. Now, if you go over here, P is connected to T1, right? Whatever the current flowing through T1 to P, my current direction is which one? We're using this one. T is connected to P1, so my current direction is T1 to P only. So my current IT1P, if I draw, will be positive. If I draw IPT1, then it will be negative. My current is flowing from T1 to P, so IT1P is positive, and that is nothing but the inductor current. Because whatever the current flowing through this is flowing through the inductor only. So IT1P is nothing but the inductor current, IL. So IT1P, what we have drawn is nothing but the inductor current. How is the inductor current looking like? It is increasing like this. It is increasing like this during this period. So IT1P increasing like this during this period. Next, IT2P. Okay, there should be T over here, IT2P. So now P is connected to T1. P, is any current flowing through T2 to P? No, because this is completely disconnected. So IT2P will be 0. So IT2P I have drawn is 0. Next, VT1P. What is VT1P? Now, T1 and P point are shorted with one another. So you know this T1 and P will have the same potential. So if you find out VT1P, it will be 0. Correct? If you are having doubt, please stop me and ask me. T1 is connected to Vs and T1 and P is short circuited. So P and T1 will have the same potential. If you calculate VT1P, you will get Vs minus Vs, that is 0. So you will get VT1 is equal to Vs, VT2 is equal to 0, Vp and VT2 equal to 0. So VT1P is equal to V. Okay. T1P is equal to Vs. Achha, I have written when T1P is calculated. Okay, just understand, then go through it. What I have written, I think I have made this side as this side, and like this I have done. So during this period, you understood T1 and P are short circuited, so that is equal to 0. Now VPT2, what will be PT2 during this period? Now see this figure. This point is open, right? This T2 point is open. So VT2 and T2 is connected to ground. See, this point is connected to ground. So VT2 can be written as 0. VT2 can be written as 0, and this P and T1 point is shorted, and T1 is Vs. So BP also Vs. BP is also Vs. BP is also Vs. So VT2P is nothing but 0 minus Vs, that is minus Vs. And if you draw VPT2, you will draw Vs. So I have drawn VPT2, and T2P is minus, so PT2 will be plus. So that's why I have drawn plus over here. Achha, any doubt up to this, you tell me. This is my T on mode of study. Any doubt up to this, you can tell me. Anywhere. How this waveform is coming, why I'm writing the equation? Nothing. Very easy. KCL, KVL.
Sir,
হ্যাঁ বলো
স্যার এই d আর 1 মাইনাস d ওইটা মানেটা কি?
এই dt আর 1 minus d.
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
This one. dt I have T on. Duty cycle is duty cycle যেটা লিখলাম আগে
হ্যাঁ ডিউটি সাইকেল ফার্স্ট যেটা অন ডিউটি সাইকেল যেটা
duty cycle is T on by T. So T on can be written as dt.
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
ঠিক আছে, and T off can be written as 1 minus dt.
1 মাইনাস d
Okay. মানে every mode of study in power electronics will be two modes. One switch will be on, one switch will be off. So T on, T off will be two modes of study. In any circuit, we'll study in later also huge circuits, two modes of study. One switch is on, one switch is off. No. IC, I'll come to it later. Next is 1 minus DTS. In 1 minus DTS period, 5 minutes the meeting will close. You can join it again. Now, in 1 minus dt period, P is connected to T2. Now, this T1 point is open. Okay. Now, inductor will discharge through the load. Now, in inductor, we have seen the current through the inductor doesn't change its direction. So, my direction through the inductor IL will remain in this direction only. IL will remain in this direction only. So, now P is connected to T2. This T2 point is connected to ground, right? And P and T2 are short circuited. So can I tell Vp is equal to Vt2 is equal to 0, right? So next point number 2, what I have written, Vp is equal to Vt2 is equal to 0. Now if you apply KVL in this circuit, what you will get, VL minus V0 is equal to 0 because there is no Vs over here. So you'll get VL is equal to V0. Now V0 is again a DC voltage, so constant. VL will be also constant of magnitude V0. But remember in transient analysis what we have studied, whenever inductor discharges current through it, remains same direction, but polarity changes. So this side becomes minus, this side becomes plus. So previously this side was plus, this side was minus. So previously what we plotted was a positive voltage over here. Now since its polarity changes, we'll plot a negative voltage over here. I have plotted a negative voltage over here, and what will be its magnitude? V0. What will be its magnitude? V0. Okay. So that's why I have plotted minus V0 over here. Next. Inductor current, same procedure. What is the formula? IL is equal to VL by L into T. What should be VL now? Minus V0. Right? Minus V0 by L into T. Again, Y equal to mx equation, but a negative slope. So it is a decreasing quantity. See, decreasing from this point. Minus V0 by L. I see I'm skipping. Now, next, going to this figure. IT1P. Is P connected to T1? No. So no current will flow through T1 to P. So IT1P is 0. So IT1P is 0. Now what we are plotting over here is IT2P. Yes, IT2P. IT2P. So current from T2 to P in this direction. So is current flowing from T2 to P? Yes, because the inductor is forcing current in this direction only, T2 to P. So T2 to P will be positive current, and that is equal to your IL. So I have drawn IL during this portion is negative slope. So T2 to P during this portion, I have drawn a negative slope over here. Now, erasing all this. If you are calculating PT2 or T2P voltage, okay, since I have plotted over here PT2, I will discuss in PT2 only. PT2. So P and T2 are shorted, they have the same potential. VPT2 will be 0. So VPT2 will be 0. It's cut over here. So VPT2 will be 0 over here. Okay. Next, PT1. Okay, PT1. Now T1 is connected to Vs. So T1 is connected to Vs. Vt1 is equal to Vs. P P and T are short circuited, P and T2, Vp is equal to Vt2 is equal to 0. So Vp is equal to 0 during this case. Okay, so what I am plotting over here, Vt1p. So Vt1p, what is Vt1p? Vs minus 0 is equal to Vs. So Vt1p is equal to Vs. So Vt1p, see I have drawn over here Vs. Then again same cycle continues. Then again same cycle will continue. Okay. So this is the off and on period in total. Anybody has any doubt? You tell me. All these voltages and currents will be using in the future references also. Why we are drawing this? Achha. Book for this reference you will not find in Bhimra. You have to go for Rashid. Okay. Only for this topic, non-isolated DC to DC converter. If you want to refer book, you have to refer Rashid. But I don't think this so much explanation is given over there. You can refer all this, practice on your own. You can understand it in a much better way. This is all I have done. Now we will discuss about IC. What is IC? Now, if you see this circuit over here, if I consider the total circuit, okay, the total circuit means when my source is connected. That means P is connected to T1. So if you apply KCL in the circuit, what will be IL? IL is equal to IC plus I0, right? IL is incoming, these two are outgoing. So IC can be written as IL is equal to IC plus I0. So IC can be written as IL minus I0. Okay. Now, I have decremented IL by a value I0 and shown over here. Now, how I am drawing this figure? Before that, you should know some average values. What is the average value of inductor current IL? Now, there are two average currents over here. One is IS, one is I0, because those are perfect DC quantities. So, it will have an average value only. IC and IL are fluctuating, it will have average and RMS. Perfect DC, which we are considering, is IS and I0. So we have IS and I0 to be the average values of current present in the circuit only. Now, when P is connected to T1, can I say IL and IS is equal? Yes. And even though I0 is also flowing, no problem. I0 is also flowing. So IL has an influence over I0 also, IL has an influence over IS also. Now we have to see which average current relates to IS during this whole time interval. During this whole time interval, which average current is related to it. Now, when P is connected to T2, is IS flowing? No. So, IS is not flowing now, but still I0 is flowing in the circuit. So, I0 is directly related to IL. So, whatever the average value of current that will flow through IL is nothing but I0. If IL is connected to this point and during on, IS was flowing and during off also IS is flowing, I could have said that average value of IL is IS. But I am saying that when IL is connected to the circuit, only one average current is flowing during this DTS, which is I0. During this 1 minus DTS also, average current through the inductor is I0. So the average current through IL is I0. This dotted line which I have drawn over here, the center, this average current, the center of this, dividing this two into two halves, is average current is I0. This dotted line, see I have drawn over here, I0. So what I will now do, IC is equal to I0, IL minus I0. Okay. So my average current through the inductor, this line which is intersecting line, is I0. So if I decrement this IL by this I0 value, I'll get IC. Now at this point, IL is equal to I0. At this point, IL is equal to I0. At this point, IL is equal to I0. See, so at this point, I have made this IC to be 0. Because IL becomes equal to I0. So I0 minus I0 becomes 0. So IC becomes 0 at this point. IC becomes 0 at this point. And at the below this 0, obviously it will go negative. So negative then goes in like this way. Now IT1P, what will be the average current through IT1P? Now when P is connected to T1, the current flowing through this is IL, right? And the average current of through means average current through the inductor we had already calculated as I0, right? So the average current of IT1 will also be I0. So whatever the average current will be I0. Again, when P is connected to T2, what is the current flowing from T2 to P? Again IL. So I can say whatever the average current of IL is the average current of T2P also. So that's why again for IT2P, I have drawn a line that is intersecting this curve into two halves, which represents average value of I0. So these are the reasons why we are taking IT1P, IT2P average currents as I0 and IL average current as I0. This will differ according to our circuits, which we'll see in later stages. In the next converters, we can observe that. But this is my point of study. All these waveforms I have explained up to now, and why these waveforms are coming, because of this calculations, 1 to 7 calculations I have shown over here. Now going into the equations. Now equations will be very easy for you to understand. Now inductor current, this is our transient analysis inductor current, right? And inductor voltage is like this. So inductor current is always positive in nature. See what we have studied, inductor current always positive in nature, no current is going in the negative direction. Inductor voltage is positive, negative, positive, negative. Okay, so is it matching with the transient analysis whatever we are considering? This is transient analysis, and I said that we are doing steady state analysis. So this will be constant at this point, this 0 will be constant at this point, this negative will be constant at this point. So we are doing steady state analysis, so we are considering only the steady state parts. This is 0, this is 0 parts. Now what is the conclusion we should take over here? Average voltage across the inductor, this is voltage VL. Average voltage across the inductor is 0, because whatever charge it is storing, it is discharging. So whatever the energy is stored over here, same energy. So average voltage across the inductor, if I do integration of VL dt over this whole time interval, I will get value 0. So this is a very important conclusion, and that gives you volt second balance, voltage into second, volt second balance. Similarly, this IVL is nothing but your IC. So from there we can say IC dt is equal to 0. So that gives you amp second balance from a capacitor. Why these two equations are required? Because we can find out the input output voltage relationship from this, input output current relationship from this. That's why we can go for this volt second balance equations. Generally, amp second balance equation, it depends upon your capacitor current wave shape, and you will see it's very difficult to apply amp second balance using the wave shapes what we have drawn over here. So we'll go by a different method, but amp second balance and volt second balance are all used for finding out input output voltage current relationships. You can go through all this point 2 to 6 points, number 2 to 6 points, all these things are written. I have just told you in short. That's why transient analysis is very important conclusions you have to make. Now use number 7 point, we are jumping. Number 7 point, using volt second balance. So average value of the voltage across the inductor will be 0. Now going to this one, voltage across the inductor, VL, right? So this area and this area will be same. Can I say it? Okay, we'll take only the magnitudes. So this area is how much? Vs minus V0. And what is the x-axis? DTS. So Vs minus V0 into DTS can be written as equal to V0 into 1 minus DTS. So this area both will be equal. so that to support your volt second balance. So this voltage are equals. Okay. So from here Vs minus V naught, this V naught brought in this side, this D brought in this side. So 1 minus D by D. So 1 minus D, 1 by D minus D by D gives you 1. And from here you can find out the relation. Vs by V naught is equal to 1 by D. So V naught is equal to dVs. Very important. All these red marks are very important. Now, if you take Vs as 10 volt, suppose 10 volt, what is the value of D? Can anybody say what can be the value of D?
T1 by T.
T1 by T. What should be its range? Like slip value, I told you it can be negative.
Oh, 0 থেকে 1 এর মধ্যে,
0 থেকে
less than 1.
Less than 1, correct. So D will be less than 1. So let me take it as 0.4. So V naught will be how much? 0.4 into, so 0.4 into 10. So that means me, 4 volt, right? 4 volt. So V naught is equal to 4 volt. So we are getting a key converter, step down converter, buck converter. So output average value is step down from 10 volt to 4 volt. Now this wave shape, IC wave shape is very difficult. See this magnitudes we know, Vs minus V naught, this is minus V naught, this point value, what will be its magnitude? This is very difficult to determine. So instead of going for without amp second balance, we'll go by another method. Like in transformer, what we do, we consider transformer to be 100% efficient. Input power is equal to output power. So V naught I naught is equal to Vs Is. From there you can find out I naught also. V naught and Vs, you know this relation, V naught is equal to dVs. Substitute it over here, I naught is equal to Is by D. Now it is very easy to remember over here. I'll tell you a small trick, because since we are applying transformer rules over here, 100% efficient. Whatever the relationship over here, see if you remember your turns ratio, V2 by V1 is equal to K, I1 by I2 is equal to K. It becomes opposite. So instead of V naught, what I'll write? Is. Instead of this Vs, what I will write? I naught. Wherever there will be supply over here, this will be output. Wherever there will be output, this will be supply. So you see, D into I naught becomes Is. That is the important thing. Okay. Next calculation that comes, this del IL. This peak to peak ripple current. This peak to peak ripple current. In order to maintain this peak to peak ripple current should be as small as possible. You should understand. This peak to peak, because inductor whatever it tries to make the current constant. So this peak to peak current should be as minimum as possible. So from there only we can design the value of inductance L. What value of inductance L is required to make peak to peak current some 0.04 milliampere, like this. Okay, think like this in a problem statement. So VL we know L di by dt. So change in current di is nothing but del IL. And we can take any period. If you want to take this period, you can want to take this period. If you take the second period T off, please take care of its magnitude. Only take its magnitude V naught and do the calculation, so that you don't do any mistake. I have taken this Vs only because it is already positive. I don't need to change its sign. So for your easy calculation, I have taken the positive value only. Sorry, Vs minus V naught, positive value. So VL during this time is Vs minus V naught. See over here I have substituted. So from here I have calculated del IL. Del IL is equal to dTs goes in this side. So VL into dTs by L. See VL into dTs by L. So VL into D. TS I told you time period. So 1 by T is nothing but F. So 1 by F. Instead of T I have done in terms of F. So del IL instead of VL, what can you write? Vs minus V naught. Just now we have seen in the waveform we have written. So instead of VL, what we have done in the next step, Vs minus V naught. Then substituted what from this equation? Vs is equal to V naught by D. So Vs is equal to V naught by D. Substituted this and found out this equation. So from here you can find your value of inductor L. Next calculation about your capacitor C. What will be the value of capacitor C? So that minimum voltage ripple will be there, because you know capacitor is connected in parallel. It doesn't allow change in voltage. dV by dt controller. So it doesn't allow change in voltage. So del Q, you know, Q equal to CV. And I have considered during this period, during this positive region, again I have considered for sign, otherwise you will do sign mistakes. That's why I have considered positive region. So during this region, I have considering there is a del Q charge to be stored. And this IL is cutting my, sorry, this I naught average value is cutting my IL into two equal halves. So basically, can I say up to this, it is dividing this T on period into two equal halves, and this is dividing the T off into two equal halves. So this part is T on by 2, this part is T off by 2. Okay, so you know this total width is T on by 2 plus T off by 2, that is nothing but T on plus T off by 2, that is T by 2. Okay, so del Q is equal to C del VC. Now del Q is the area of this triangle. Del Q is the area of this triangle. So area of this triangle is half base into height. Okay, so from here I have given it over here. This height, what will be its height? Now check this waveform. What will be its height? Tell me anybody, what will be the height of this figure? I have told you the this breadth over here. Half base. I have told you base T by 2. What will be the height? Anyone? Can you tell me what will be the height?
IL minus I naught.
Huh?
IL minus I naught.
No, IL minus I naught is this complete waveform. I am telling
Oh.
what will be the height at this point. This is the height, right? What will be the height at this point? এই waveform লুকিয়ে রয়েছে. This is over here. See this point, this average value, this point is brought to 0.
আচ্ছা ওটা শিফট করেছে হ্যাঁ ডেল্টা IL by 2
So yes, so this point becomes axis over here. So this is the gap actually. So that is del IL by 2. So this height is actually del IL by 2. So this height is actually del IL by 2. That del IL by 2, and that is TS by 2. Then you do the normal calculation, find out your VC from here, and then you can substitute your del IL of you have got over here. You can substitute your del IL over here and get a value. I have not substituted, but you can find out. But this is a standard equation. Okay.
এগুলো কি মনে রাখতে হবে?
এগুলো you have to remember. Very important. Power electronics is based on circuits and huge formulas. You have to remember this. Using this, problems will come. Okay.
স্যার এই গ্রাফগুলো মনে রাখতে হবে
Graph gulo gated jonno is not needed, but for your semester is needed, because I will tell you that explain the operation of buck boost converter. Then you have to draw this waveform, write all this 7, 6, 6, 7 points, or I will tell you draw the VL IL waveform IC. In words you have to write 1, 2 line. I draw the VL IL waveform. You have to show this VL IL how it comes and draw these two graphs. VL IL IC is very important. These three very important. VL IL IC is very important. আচ্ছা 12টা তো বেজে গেল। আচ্ছা 2 মিনিটের মধ্যে শেষ করে দিচ্ছি। হবে না মনে হচ্ছে আজকে শেষ। এই পাতা অবধি করিয়ে শেষ করে দিচ্ছি। আচ্ছা go through this. I have calculated the value of L max. So it is 1 minus D. So if D is minimum, then only 1 minus D will be maximum. If I take D max over here, so 1 minus D maximum will give me minimum value. So that's why in order to calculate L max, I can make D minimum over here. So how will you make D minimum? So you know D is equal to, from this equation, you know D is equal to V naught by Vs. So D is equal to V naught by Vs. So in order to make D minimum, you can make Vs maximum. In order to make D maximum, you can make Vs minimum. IL max, these are all means this type of values they ask in GATE. Okay, IL max, what is the value of maximum value of IL? So again you have to remember that figure. That's why figure is very important. IL max, what is the maximum value of IL? See, average value of IL we know it is I naught, right? And this gap we know is how much? This point I know is how much I naught, and this small gap I know is del IL by 2. Can I say this peak point is I naught plus del IL by 2, right? So the maximum value of inductor current is I naught plus del IL by 2. I naught plus del IL by 2, where del IL can be calculated using this formula. Okay. Now boundary condition. Boundary condition means I have treated my current to be uh, continuous in nature. Suppose I choose a inductor value, my current becomes discontinuous, means it reaches zero. That is my boundary conditions which we give. We have two boundary conditions which you should remember for voltage and current, because there are two energy storing elements. Those are creating your transients, your L and C. So in inductor, in boundary condition should be in terms of current. Capacitor boundary condition should be in terms of voltage. So that boundary condition is del IL is equal to 2 I naught, 2 times your average value, and del VC is equal to 2 times of V naught. I naught can be written as V naught by R, and then you substitute your del IL. Del IL we have already calculated, V naught 1 minus D by FSL. Substitute it, find your value of L. This LC, this is called critical value of inductance. If you bring your inductance below this, my inductor current will be discontinuous. That is, suppose my current at this point will be after this point will go negative. So inductor current can't go negative. So up to this point, suppose this up to this point it is negative. So up to this point over here, inductor current will be zero. Then it will go again in the positive direction. So you can't make your inductor current negative. So from this point to this point, your inductor current will be zero. Then again it will rise. So that is discontinuous current. And this LC and CC gives you a limitation to that. So that is how you can calculate a LC, and VC can be calculated like this.
CC টা কি critical value of capacitance?
Critical value of capacitance. For capacitor voltage also, your capacitor voltage transient analysis can't go in the negative direction. Okay, so that value of capacitance should be the minimum value. Air common abale, your capacitor value voltage will go negative, and since capacitor voltage will not support negative voltage, তাহলে যতটা negative voltage আছে it will be zero. Then again it will be positive. Okay. Then again it will be positive. So tomorrow we'll do simulation. I have to show you this one also, and show you simulation, that how these results are also verified. These all things I have shown you, I will show in simulation also. এগুলো ঠিক কিনা all things. That's next class you have at 12 o'clock. আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, এটা আমি PDF classroom এ আপলোড করে দিচ্ছি. You go through it and make notes on your own.